Man, every NFL season, we see a handful of rookies. They come out swinging, highlight reels, big plays. Just it seems like they're going to flip the franchise on its head and be the future, like we were just mentioning in the Jackson Dart era. But, not every hot start always turns into hardware. Some guys will fizzle out. Others just can't keep their pace once they get it going, and kind of the hype can die out as quick as it really became about, right? But who's really got the juice to bring home the Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2025? We're going to give y'all our top 5. Maybe if you have an honorable mention, Marcus, that's totally cool. Give me your number 5. Well, so as much as I say top 5, I didn't rank them, but just give me your 5 candidates for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I did rank mine.
Yeah, that's fine. If you ranked them, that's great. I can probably rank mine real quick while you're running through yours, because I've got my feelings about the guys. So go ahead, man. Who are your top 5 Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates?
So number 5, I have Matthew Golden. The reason why I have Matthew Golden number 5 is, and this is not just because I'm a Packers fan, it's because I think as a rookie wide receiver, first of all, as the first round rookie wide receiver to be picked in 23 years. There are a lot of expectations from Matthew Golden in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's number 1. But number 2, most importantly, when you look at Green Bay's wide receiver core, right, the only proven commodity really right now is Jaden Reed. Remember, Christian Watson's been dealing with injury. He actually tore his ACL towards the end of the season, right? Yep. Romeo Doubs has been the epitome of inconsistency. He's played really well in some games. He's been a no-show in others. They've taken Bo Melton and moved him to the cornerback position, so he's not even in the wide receiver room anymore. And Dontavian Wicks is kind of like our gadget guy, right? So as young and as inconsistent as this wide receiver room is, I do still think that Jaden Reed is and will be the wide receiver 1 of the group, likely and rightfully so. But I think Matthew Golden has a strong chance to be the wide receiver 1 and rack up a bunch of yards. This is also, if you remember, in our first preseason game, Matthew Golden was the only receiver to catch a ball. Not because he was the only receiver to be targeted. He was literally the only receiver to catch the football in our first preseason game. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like literally the only one. So I have Matthew Golden at number 5. Number 4 on my list is Travis Hunter. We all love Travis Hunter being able to play on both sides of the ball. However, this is the National Football League. The game is faster. The game is more physical. And I'm not sure yet if Travis Hunter will be able to maintain being able to play every single snap of offense and defense the way he was essentially able to play every single snap of offense and defense in college. If he can, it'll be the greatest single season feat we've ever seen, not just from a rookie, but from any player in the history of the NFL. And he would warrant being the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And in that scenario, he'd probably also be Defensive Rookie of the Year also. But that's why I have my number 4.
That would be crazy.
Also, too, if we're being honest, I think it's actually more likely that he would be Defensive Rookie of the Year than Offensive Rookie of the Year, just because I think he'll have a better opportunity to showcase his talents on defense than he will on offense. At number 3, I mentioned him earlier. It's Amarion Hampton. I might be thinking, how is he above Travis Hunter when they've got Najee Harris in LA? I get that. But this is an LA Chargers team that has fully revamped their everything since Jim Harbaugh arrived last season. I think they're going to be a little bit more run heavy because they do have some things to figure out with the wide receiver room. I know Keenan Allen is back now, right? I still have no idea what's going on with Quentin Johnson. Like, there's a lot to figure out there. And as much as I love Justin Herbert, right? He can't catch a football either. Maybe he's
never understood why people had him so high in their drafts. I said, bro's a one-trick pony. And people figured out his tricks, and now he can't even catch. I didn't even think he had drop problems in college, but
yeah, I don't know what happened there. But I do think, again, he's a first round pick. They're going to get him touches early and often, and with in an offense that needs to identify what's going on in the passing game, they're going to be run heavy very often. I think he can rack up a bunch of yards. At number 2, and this was tough for me, but at number 2, I have Cam Ward. And the only reason why Cam Ward's number 2 is simply because as the quarterback...
Damn, so you're cutting either Jeanty or Dart. Or you're going to throw me a curveball and you're not putting either one of them in there.
The only reason why I have Cam Ward number 2 is because as the quarterback, your team has to win games in order for you to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Doesn't you think about who's been the Offensive Rookie of the Year in years past, right? Jaden Daniels had arguably the greatest rookie season we've ever seen. The year before that, right, we saw C.J. Stroud win it, right? We've also seen Justin Herbert win Offensive Rookie. Like, we've seen a lot of talented quarterbacks win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And so if Cam Ward's going to do it, he's going to have the steepest hill to climb because his team is the worst of all the most recent quarterback Offensive Rookies of the Year. At number 1,
drum roll, please.
I have Ashton Jeanty.
Whoa!
I
Damn,
think
Jeanty at
Ashton
the top
Jeanty
top.
absolutely. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to come in right away and be an impact player at the running back position
For
for this
sure.
football team. We
For
have to
sure.
remember this is a Las Vegas Raiders team that is now coached by Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is a guy who loves defense and loves to run the football.
Oh, yeah.
I expect Ashton Jeanty to crack 1,000 yards his rookie season. I
Easily.
expect Ashton
He should
Jeanty
crack
actually to
13,
finish top
1400.
10 in rushing yards this season.
Yep.
And I think Ashton Jeanty has a strong possibility when you look at just how little outside of Brock Bowers there is in the receiving core. I think there's a strong possibility that Ashton Jeanty might do something only one other guy in the history of the NFL has done. I think Ashton Jeanty has a strong chance to be the second guy other than Christian McCaffrey to be 1,000 and 1,000 this season because they're going to need all they can get.
Damn,
And if Ashton Jeanty
that's
can
going to be a
crack
big lift for
2,000
Ashton to
scrimmage
go
yards,
1K on both sides.
I think it's very possible. Call me
Yeah.
crazy. I think it's very, very possible.
He'll
if he
have
can
to
do
develop as such
he
a
would be
passer
offensive
in the
rookie of the year.
passing game. Yeah, 100%. If he combines for 2K scrimmage yards, not to interrupt you, but that's
No,
I
you're
mean,
good.
that's a outlandish take for sure. But I mean, it's back. The only thing is when you look at him at Boise State, like that was the only knock on Jeanty. And
Mhm.
you know, what was it? Maddox Madsen, I think, was the quarterback at Boise
Yep.
State. You know, they didn't feed Jeanty through the air a lot because bro got like 350, 400 carries in college. And that was like, that's
Yep.
literally the only con I remember from Jeanty was his height, which doesn't matter doesn't matter as a running back.
Never matters as a running back.
And the fact that he just didn't get and I even remember saying it's not that he can't be a CMC, a Kamara, a Brian Robinson, and Eckler in the passing game. He just didn't get the opportunities. If Pete Carroll hands it to him, then for sure.
I think
I don't know if I can go 1,000,
in that
1,000.
Raiders
I could
offense-
see like 1,300 and like 600, like 1,900.
1,000
on
and
purpose.
1,000 might be a bit of a stretch in his rookie season, but I do think
Yeah.
he'll come really close to being 2,000 combined also. I mean, he's going to get the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, I
Like,
think he'll get the
they're
chance
going
to
to need
definitely
all
go
the
for
help
2K
they can
scrim
get in the
yards.
passing game. So they're going to be feeding him, whether it's screens, whether it's those flat routes, those flare, like whatever it is. They're going to give him opportunity to catch passes out of the backfield. This is the same Raiders offense that for such a long time hosted Josh Jacobs, a guy who up until last season set the record actually for the most receptions by a running back without a receiving touchdown. So like we know that this is an offense and we know this is a system in Vegas. I know it's different now that Pete Carroll's there, but it's really not all that different.
Yeah.
Like we know that they're going to want to get him involved in the passing game. So I think it could happen. But if he can combine or come really close to 2,000 scrimmage yards, I think could be offense rookie of the year. And again, as a running back, it doesn't matter. Like he doesn't need to win as running back. Cam Ward needs to win in order for it to, like, he has to win in order for it to work. Jeanty doesn't need to win. He just needs to go out there and be great. I think he's going to be great. So I think Ashton Jeanty is going to be offensive.
Wow, Jeanty at 1, and you think he's going to have 2K scrim yards. I respect it, bro. Well, 1,000. I think he has a chance to go for 2K scrim yards for sure. No doubt.
Yep.
At number 5 for offensive rookie of the year candidates, I've got Matthew Golden. He was clearly drafted as that number 1 wide receiver. You know, Green Bay clearly desperately needed him in the room. And I think he's going to form a very solid duo with Jordan Love, no doubt. Jordan Love's going to have many opportunities to connect with him and, you know, other decent names in the receiving core like Wicks, like Reed, of course. If Christian Watson can, you know, come around. And that guy's a burner down the field, right? Like he's very, very able to fit into those passing schemes like LaFleur loves to see. And this was the top 3 receiver in the draft, no question about it. At number 4, give me Travis Hunter at number 4, because I think for a little bit in the NFL, he's going to have to figure out like where his specialty is. And I get it, like the kid's confidence. He doesn't want to give it up. I'm going to play, you know, all snaps on both sides. Like that's great, but the speeds are different. The hits are different. The plays are different. The quarters, like the game is different at the next level. And it's really about the speed and the pressure and the hits, right? So it's like Travis is going to have to take a chance to figure that out. And I think the likes of other people higher on my list, or even some of the people that you mentioned, are going to get a chance to make more of an effect consistently rather than Travis will, because it's like, you know, Steve Smith Sr. said it best. He went to Travis Hunter's pro day. He was like, you know, he looks very good, but he's going to have to become a master of one, not a jack of all trades. Jacks of all trades do not get paid like an expert and a master of one does. And I just firmly agree with him there. So I think Travis Hunter is going to come in there at number 4. He's going to have plenty of opportunities, right? But I think Trevor Lawrence being his quarterback, very polarizing topic. We don't like what's the verdict on Trevor Lawrence? I'm mostly leaning to the side of out, but like we know what the talent is and the potential, but potential and talent are good for nothing but, you know, getting you fired if you don't execute on it and it doesn't actually come through. So that's going to be interesting to see. If this guy wins OROY and DROY, as One player, put the kid in the hall. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Put the kid in the freaking hall if he wins both in his first year. At number 3, that's where I'm going to take Ashton Jeanty. Clearly, we know what he's been capable of. He's going to be an absolute workhorse. He's going to be absolutely fed as a rookie. I think we're going to see a Zeke, a Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb type of workload early on. And Pete Carroll and Geno Smith are really going to rely on him heavily early on, especially Geno. And if they do incorporate him more into the passing game, which, like, we'll know within the first 2 to 3 weeks what Pete Carroll is kind of really seeing in Jeanty to be able to work him in on some Texas routes, some wheel routes, some stop and goes, potentially, like whatever, not stop and go, but you get the point that I'm making for, the route tree that could potentially, come up to, really Ashton Jeanty. And I mean, he's got big people to live up to. I mean, most recently, Bijan Robinson. You've got guys like AP and LaDainian Tomlinson that he's been, compared to. And so we just know the workload's going to be really heavy and he's going to have a ton of opportunities. At number 2, give me Jackson Dart. For all the reasons that I just said before this. I mean, the deep ball timing, the proficiency at layering the throws in the NFL coverage already, like that's going to be the big trait to keep up. The vision, the first round talent. I mean, the way he takes his assignments, this guy is just absolutely lights out. You guys heard me say it. And then at number 1, give me Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Clearly the most talented quarterback. Jackson Dart is on his heels, though, in this class and in this draft. So it's going to be great to see, what Cam brings to the table. Brian Callahan now actually having to develop Cam Ward after dealing with the craziness of Will Levis and everything that the Mayo man brought with him. It's really crazy to see how it kind of played out. But, he has a significant amount of talent around him. Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley, Tyjae Spears, Tony Pollard, and 3 of the best receiving weapons, not best, 3 of the well-producing, highly respected receivers in college football in Gunnar Helm, Xavier Restrepo, his teammate who he advocated for, and Elick Eiermaner, the Travis Hunter killer. So, I mean, he's got some great rookie talent, and he's also got, again, a Tyler Lockett, a Calvin Ridley, a Tony Pollard. We've already seen a little bit of a connection with the Eiermaner and Calvin Ridley. So it's going to be really, really nice to see, man. So we're kind of neck and neck on there. I don't have Omarion Hampton. I know you do not have Jackson Dart. So, very well respected. No doubt about it. But who is y'all's pick for offensive rookie in the year? Drop it in the comments. Again, hit the like, subscribe, because these rookies aren't just making plays, guys. Like, they're actually shaping the future of the NFL.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.